Good evening. How are we all doing? Everybody good? I think my head's gone wonky for some reason. Try that. Oh, I've got no doubt about that at all. Proving Molly loves to talk about me. Wave for your mum, Ivan. Hello, Ivan's mum. Your son's got 12 staples in the head after a cop used a baton on him with no warning and not under threat. Any laws on this? Well, there are. It would be easier to know what happened. If you want to email me, you can email me at policeabusingpowers@gmail.com. So if you want to send us an email, and I'll have a look for you, and I'll see if there's any advice that I can give or point you in the direction of somebody that can help. Good evening, good evening. Patriot Views, how you doing? Proving Molly. Rude? Who's rude? Hope you're not talking about me. Tom, how are you, mate? Yeah, with regards to that, with regards to the giveaway, what's going to happen if somebody wins it and they don't want it, rather than going through all the palaver that we've been through twice, I will just pick a new one straight away, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, so I'll just pick a new winner straight away if somebody wins it but doesn't want it. But ideally, to make it easier, if you don't want to be entered into the competition, then it would be easier not to enter, and it just makes things a lot smoother and a lot easier for everybody here. Copwatch, you got a notification. Sweet. Copwatch UK, I wanted to ask you a question, actually, mate. President Trump and I have been working on a Discord server. Well, President Trump's been working on a Discord server. I've just been a thorn in his side. But I think it's been set up now. So I know you're on a tier that I've currently enabled for Discord. If you've got a Discord account, can you please at some point nip over to Patreon, and it should say on your account somewhere that you've now got access to Discord, with a link it should have, I imagine. I'm not exactly sure how it all works from your side of it, but if you could do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Keith Webster, how you doing? Tom Beresford, hi. John, how you doing? 83 watching, 6 likes. Wow. Come on, guys. Do us a favour, please. I need to get people to see these videos so we can do like the giveaways and stuff like that, because it all helps. So hit that like button. If you've ever watched any of my videos and you thought, actually, I like that video, hit the like button now for me. Hi, Robert. Barcodes. Oh, you've changed your name. How you doing, Dragonfire? Mark Baldwin, hi. Carl, hi. Oh, it's all mad, isn't it? Patriot Views. It's just absolute headache, the lot of it. Good, Tom. I'm glad you're okay. Hi, GC. Evening, Arcadian. Yeah, I have got some photos of a letter. I haven't looked at them fully properly yet. I've got mad amounts to go through. I will get to them as soon as I can and have a proper look. Jay, Daisy and Alice said piss off. No, they said hello. Alua. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but how you doing in Sunderland? John Boy, how you doing? Just giving people a bit of time to come and jump on. So yeah, it'll be hello to a lot of people for the next couple of minutes, just while we're waiting for more people to join in. I must actually just get something out of my bag. Oh, out of my bag over there, so bear with me. Got it. Thank you, Copwatch. If you don't mind, just whenever you've got a chance, mate. There's no rush. I appreciate it. Andrew Stratford, how you doing? Where's Martin? All good, mate. Thank you. How are you? Harry Scallon, hi from Scotland. How you doing from Liverpool, mate? Raymond. Andy Turner, new to the channel. How you doing? Welcome. Stephen. So for those of you, because I've got to be honest, over the past 28 days, the channel has had an increase by about almost 4,000 subscribers, which is absolutely mental. Okay, and I'm incredibly grateful. I know some of them are police. I know some of them are just subscribed so they can come and slate me and troll me. No problem there. But I know many of you are coming and subscribing because you like the stuff that I've put out. These live streams, I try to do a live stream once a week. Sometimes throughout the week I'll do the news report, the PAT reports. I sometimes do them live, not very often, but sometimes do them live. But once a week I try and do a live stream, either on a Sunday night or a Monday night. And what we're doing at the moment, and we've still got quite a few left, I think we've got about 6 weeks left. We've got mini body cams that we're giving away in the live streams. Now, for those of you, and I'm going to do this now before it gets too far in, so that people that do come and catch this live stream, they'll hear the sort of instructions, if you like. Now, these mini body cams, I'm going to show you what they are shortly, but for now I'm just going to explain. When it's some point during the first hour of the live stream, I will, or Pinaki News, who has supplied these for me to give away on the channel to use, guys, myself or Pinaki News will put a link in the comments. We will tell you, so we'll let you know straight before it happens. We'll let you know. Oh, sorry, I've done it again, haven't I? Okay, my apologies. I really need to change my setup properly. I do apologise for that. Could you actually hear me though, although it might have been muffled? No sound at all. Motty lad, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I can start again. All right, I'll do that. I'll do it a bit quicker. I do apologise. I've done that twice now. So my apologies. Right. Once a week, I try and do a live stream. Once a week, I try and do a live stream. Is that better? Right. Once a week, I try and do a live stream. In that live stream, and that'll either be a Sunday or a Monday night. Now, in that live stream, we just sort of chat about, normally I have some things to talk about. If I don't, then we just chat, because it's about building a community. And that's what I want to do. I want to build a community around the channel. I don't just want to put stuff out and, you know what I mean, and earn a few quid on ad revenue. I actually like getting to know you, and you guys talk to me and get to know me. And we discuss things that have been going on. And that's what I like about doing what I do. Motty lads, no sound. I don't know. Right. Somebody do us a favour. Somebody type in the comments for Motty lads to try refreshing his browser if he can't hear me. So anyway, getting back to it. Yeah, so in conjunction with Pinaki News, the link to his channel is in the description. In conjunction with Pinaki News, we've got these miniature body cams to give away. Now, in order to get a body cam, some point within the first hour of the live stream. So it's not going, I mean, sometimes my live streams go on for 3 hours or more. I think, what was the record? It's about 4 hours, I think. But within the first hour, because I don't want to take the piss. So within the first hour, myself or Pinaki News will put a link in the live chat. We'll let you know. We won't just sneak it in, we'll let you know. What we'll do is we'll tell you first of all, we're about to put a link in there. Once that link goes in, you go click on it, head on over to a different video very quickly, and in the comments of that video, you just type your username. That's it. No other comments, no other words, nothing else. Just whatever your username is what you type in the comments. For example, it would say police abusing powers, says police abusing powers, and that's it. Okay, we'll give you 5 minutes to do that. After that 5 minutes is up, I will then go and use a website which automatically selects at random one of the comments from that video. That person will win. However, you can only put your comment once to make it fair. If you comment more than once on that video, then you'll be voided from that competition. So only comment once. Second thing as well is because of the cost of postage, and I do apologise, at the moment the channel doesn't make much money. So posting anywhere outside of the UK at the moment, unfortunately, is out of the question. However, as time goes on and the channel grows, I hope to be able to do stuff where I can send things a bit further afield. And once I've called the name out of the winner, you've got 60 seconds to let me know that you're here. If you don't let me know that you're still here watching within 60 seconds of picking a winner, then we pick another winner. Okay, and that's only to keep things short rather than having it drag out for half an hour trying to find out where somebody is, etc. So that's basically the rules. So there we go. Hello, E-Word, Geordie John, Tony Smith. Yeah, I saw that. I did notice that. Motty lad, you can hear me now? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, Gamer One, how you doing? Okay, now there's a couple of things that I wanted to discuss this evening. Again, once I've got that out of the way, we can just chat about, you know, you can bring things up if you want to, and we can discuss anything you like, you know. As I say, it's about the community, so everybody's stuck in, you're probably bored of speaking to your other half. I'm bored of looking at my dogs. So just having a chat on here to people is great for me. So there, we'll take it from there. But Chris Patriot Bear Furnace. How you doing? How you doing, Mr. Public? So let me find this. Now, I had a comment from somebody. Now, I've not seen her post in the live chat yet. But I wanted to read her post out. It was her comment, rather. I wanted to read her comment out because it how can I put it? It kind of reflects some of what I've been thinking. And I think it reflects a lot of what you guys are thinking as well. So this was a comment that went into my spam folder, actually, because it had a couple of links in it. So I wanted to read through this, and I'm going to put some links to this in the description after this live stream, so anybody can come back and check the links out. But this was a comment from a subscriber called Lucy, and it says, from the start of the lockdown, I believed that the powers introduced were unlawful in that they would infringe upon the Declaration of Human Rights in respect of freedom of assembly and freedom of movement. My belief was confirmed, albeit in regard to European Commission on Human Rights, by an article written by barrister Francis Hoare that your viewers may wish to read. Okay, again, I'm going to put the links to these in the descriptions. It states the coronavirus legislation is a disproportionate interference with the rights protected by the European Convention on Human Rights. It says they rushed the act through Parliament and then suspended it, which they did. They suspended Parliament after the act went through, having tried to get the act through with no scrutiny and in effect for 2 years. In Scotland, the so-called government tried to suspend trial by jury. Okay, so in Scotland, they tried to suspend criminal trials by jury. Okay, in other words, you wouldn't have you wouldn't be found guilty by your peers. Okay. And this was put in after. This was something that they wanted to do after the lockdown was in place, not before. It says the Scottish Criminal Bar Association described this attempt as, at best, a knee-jerk reaction to an as yet unquantified problem, instigated by panic or, at worst, something far more sinister. It seems that either government will, with the pretext that it is necessary to save lives, attempt to expand powers as far as possible, trying to gauge what people will stand for. Now, this is a thing that stood out to me. Now, the legislation was put in place very quickly. We know that, okay? And I don't think it was thought through properly, although there are lots of people out there that are panicking because of the numbers that the mainstream media are flashing in their face all day long. I'm not for a moment suggesting there isn't a problem, but I think most of us know, at least from doing research, that that problem's not as bad as it's being made out to be. That's my opinion based on everything that I've read and learned and seen over the past 5 weeks. However, now they've kind of got everybody used, we're 5 weeks in, okay? 5 weeks in, everybody's kind of used to being locked down. So why wouldn't they try and impose a little bit more on us? Why wouldn't they try and push a little bit further and see how far they can push before people turn around and say, right, enough is enough? Bearing in mind that the government know that most people in this country haven't got a backbone anymore. Okay, all the people, or the majority of people that had a backbone, unfortunately, are now long dead. Yeah, there's not as many people now in this country that have got a backbone. If we went to war, for example, in the First and Second World War, you know, loads of people wanted to go and fight for their country. Although many didn't, there was a lot of people that wanted to go and fight for their country because they felt proud and honoured to do that. But now, I think you'd be hard pressed to find a majority of people that would want to. And that's because they don't care about the country anymore, because the country doesn't care about you or about me. Although they try and make out they do by saying we're trying to save you. Not at all. This comment goes on to say, the Scottish Government have said as much in the decision-making framework document that they will introduce measures partly based on what they believe the public will comply with. Okay, so the Scottish Government have said that they will introduce measures based on what they believe the public will comply with. Tiptoeing into tyranny, yes, that's what's his name says. I always forget his name. Mr. Conspiracy Theory. Can't remember his name. David Icke, that's the one. Lucy goes on to say, I know it's probably hackneyed to say it, but Nazi Germany was able to commit genocide by the introduction of laws to legitimise it. The people of Germany were not evil. They were people like you and me, but it was their compliance with the government, their deference to authority that cost us all so dearly in the end. And again, I think I have to agree with that. Yes, you know, although people in Germany during the Second World War and whatnot done some bad things, they'd done them because they believed, because they was indoctrinated by their own government, they believed that they was doing the right thing. Not that that makes it any better, by the way, I'm not saying that, but they did it because they believed they was doing the right thing, because the government made them feel that it was the right thing to do. And it goes on to say, people believe that the UK government want to save them from the virus, just as people in Germany believed their government was good, and they deluded themselves that the crimes against humanity that they were committing was for the greater good. She says, I'm not suggesting the UK government is planning genocide. I'm drawing a parallel to the fact that people were in denial about what was happening. And whatever way you look at it, overnight the people of the UK lost their fundamental rights. And when you think about it, although it's been a few weeks, you think about it in a grand scheme of things, it is literally overnight, isn't it? You know, if you think about time frames, really, it's happened so quickly, it's kind of blink and you missed it. She goes on to say, supposedly this is for the greater good. Why it happened is far less important than the fact that it did. The most important thing is the fact it requires compliance. As Edmund Burke is quoted as saying, the people never give up their liberties, but under some delusion. And when a government demands that you comply with laws that go against the Constitution that is in place to prevent such arbitrary powers, then the government and its rules are illegitimate. Now that comment that she left really stood out to me, which is why I'm reading it to you now. And it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. As I say, there are too many people in this country that have got a jelly backbone. And when it comes to it, they'll fold. And that's what, I think that's what a lot of people, the establishment, are hoping on. They're hoping that people fold and just go with the flow. And that's the problem. That's when things start getting bad. I do understand. I've had a few comments today. Since I put up that video yesterday, I've had a few comments. Now, people calling me out, saying, oh, I don't care about people dying and, you know, this, that and the other. Now, those of you who I would call the core supporters of the channel, if you like, the ones that watch every video and you're on every live stream, etc. You guys know what I'm like. We've been, you know, most of us have been talking for 6 months plus now. And I think you've gotten to know me. I certainly do care that people are dying. Nobody wants anybody to die. But the thing is, it shouldn't be used to scare and frighten people into compliance. Okay? Death of anybody for any reason is a horrific thing. But to use that to scare and to coerce people into compliance of giving up rights, okay, our fundamental rights, they are, our rights are basically, you know, they've been there almost since the beginning of mankind, right? You know, they've all been there almost from the beginning of mankind, some of these rights. We have the right to freedom of travel, for example. We have the right to congregate, okay? All of this kind of stuff. A lot of our rights have been there since the beginning of mankind. And we're using legislation that's only been around for a few hundred years to wipe our rights out. And that's got to be a problem. And yes, Brian, exactly. They've lied about the numbers. Of course they have. There's, you know, even Italy have even said themselves, the government in Italy have said that 0.8, well, a couple of weeks ago, 0.8% of all the deaths in Italy have been coronavirus. The coronavirus was the cause. The rest of the deaths, they may have had coronavirus, but they didn't die from coronavirus. Yeah, so why is it a government is saying that? Okay, it's not our government. I wonder why our government's not being honest with the figures. But another government, at least one, has turned around and said the numbers are wrong. Why are people not paying attention to that? My neighbours told me yesterday his dad had to go into hospital. He's got cancer, wasn't well. And his dad had to go into hospital. It wasn't end of life. It was, you know, but he was very ill, so we had to go into hospital. Do you know what they did? He went in with cancer. First of all, they told him to sign a do not resuscitate. That's the first thing. Secondly, they put him in a COVID ward, even though he went in with cancer, not COVID. They were screwing yesterday. They were going absolutely nuts when I was speaking to them. Yeah, went in with cancer. He came out. I think that's what he said. He came out, didn't die while he was in there, but he had to go in there because he wasn't very. He was very unwell. But he went in. They put him on a corona ward. As far as I know, he's come out and he's fine. Okay, he didn't get it. But that's a problem. That is a problem. Do you know what I mean? You go in with a stroke. You go in with a heart attack. You go in with cancer. They're going to put you in a coronavirus ward. All right? They've already shut down most of the other wards, haven't they? This is why people can't go in and have their elective surgeries and stuff like that. Okay? So they've shut down all of these other wards. People are going into hospital. They're getting put in coronavirus wards with people with coronavirus. Right? And people without coronavirus, I might add. And it's almost like they're doing it in the hope that they catch it. That's what it seems like. It's almost like they're doing it in the hope that they catch it. And again, let's face it, we've seen everybody here watching this tonight, everybody here, you have all seen nurses dancing around in empty wards and PPE. Dancing around, doing TikTok videos and all the rest of it. Okay. But yet the hospitals are overrun. Hospitals are overrun. Must save the NHS. Well, what are they doing with all these people? Are they sticking them in a closet while they do their dance routine and then pull them back out afterwards? Yeah, you've got to start making you think instead of just following the narrative. And you know, I'm not telling people to believe what I'm saying. I'm giving my opinion on this at the moment. You know, I'm just sharing with you information that I know is out there. Lots of people haven't got time to see it. Lots of people just sit there in front of the BBC and Sky News and listen to what they've got to say without doing any research of their own. And that is stupid, I've got to say. I'm sorry, but it's stupid. I saw a video yesterday of two doctors. Some of you other guys might have seen it, but I've seen a video of two doctors who were sitting there. It looked like they was doing an interview, and they were saying exactly the same thing. There are medical professionals around the world saying this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But the problem is, because the government's telling them what to do, they've got to do it. Well, they haven't got to, but they're doing it. Hiya, Kerry. No lecky for 24 hours. Oh my God, that must have done your cake in. That has sent me over the edge, that. All right, but I need, you know, you guys need to look at stuff yourself. You can't just take my word for it. The same as just because they're on national television, it doesn't mean you should take their word for it as well. You need to use your brain and you need to look stuff up. You need to do your own research and find out and realize that this is, it may be bad, but it's not as bad as they're making out. Okay, if look, let's put it this way: if the government last year gave out all the facts and figures every day of people dying of normal flu, everybody would think, oh my God, how many people are dying? Yeah. If everybody, if the government done that last year and said, right, the flu today has killed X amount of people. The next day they say the flu today has killed another X amount of people. That's an X amount, you know, that's a 10% increase. Everybody would start shitting themselves, going, oh my God, the flu, oh my God, the flu. Yeah? You've got to think for yourself, people. You really have. You've got to think of yourself. Think for yourself. Again, I am not saying there is nothing going on. I'm not saying there's no coronavirus. I'm not saying that at all, because that would be stupid of me. I'm not a medical professional. I can't say that there isn't. Do you know what I mean? But there is something else going on, and people need to do their own research into it. I'm not talking about 5G. I'm not talking about, you know, any of that stuff, because again, I'm not an expert in that. I don't even look at that stuff up. Okay, it doesn't, you know, for me, it just doesn't click with me. Okay, but I'm not telling you what to think and what not to think. All I'm doing is I'm telling you that you need to look at stuff yourself rather than just take people's words for it. It's not a COVID cough. I better have a drink in case I cough again. So, anyway, that's that bit out of the way. As I say, I wanted to share that comment with you because I thought it was a great comment that she'd written to me. And I thought that rather than just allowing it through and just people would overlook it, I thought I would share that with you. So, what was your name? Lucy Miller. Thank you. If you get to watch this, or if you're watching it now, thank you for that comment. There was some links in that comment. Again, I'm going to pop them into the description at the end of this live stream rather than doing it now. I've got some what's it called, pork crackling. Lovely. Right, people don't end up on ventilators for nothing. Okay, question: why did the government tell Dyson and G-Tech that they didn't want the ventilators that they were asked to make? They were asked to make ventilators. They spoke to the government. Government spoke to them and said, we need ventilators. Can you design ventilators for us? They said, yeah, of course we can. So they got to work. They went back to the government and said, look, we've got the plans. This is the ventilators. Government said, it's all right, don't need them. Why was that? Dyson, I'll find it. Dyson put out a memo to all of his staff saying that the government had said that they didn't want the ventilators anymore. Got them cheaper off Trump. Tyrant Finder, how you doing? Rachy 00000, how you doing? Connect for Glyn, how you doing? So as I say, again, I'm not telling anybody what to think. Couldn't do that, wouldn't do that. All I can do is give you the information that I know and then tell you or ask you to go and check it out yourself. Don't take my word for it. Go and have a look. Go and check it out. Okay? Because I would lose credibility if I sat here and I was lying about it, or I'd lose credibility if I just expected you to believe what I've got to say. So I'm passing on the information. Please go and check it out yourself, and your eyes will be opened, I promise you. So I wonder, is Pinaki News on yet? When did I get credibility? That's not very nice. Oh, I jacked up on some debt all this morning. I didn't get round to setting up the live stream until 10 minutes before I went on, I'm afraid. Oi, Dan. Hello, James Morton. Who are you oying? No Panaki news yet. Okay. Just bear with me, folks. Right, anyway. Well, I'm hoping the giveaway will be soon. Right, they are loud, aren't they? I won't eat any more of them. Right, I've just sent Mr. Panaki a message. We'll give it 10 minutes because I need him to do something for me. So we'll give it 10 minutes. Stephen Connor, thank you. If you're here watching, I've just got a notification. Thank you very much. Motti lad, do you have Discord? Oh, I just won't eat anymore. I'll have them later. $311 watching, 180 likes. That's a bit unfair, isn't it? Come on, guys. If you don't mind, it doesn't hurt. If you like any of my videos, if you've ever liked any of my videos, even if you don't like them now, if you liked any of my videos, just hit that like button for me. Hopefully we can get a few more people on. We can get the word spread. Scratchings. Well, that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Thank you, Fred. I appreciate that. Right, I'm going to have to look at this, my channel. Oh, come on, load. There we go. 238 likes, that's much better. Oh, 11 thumbs downs. Sorry, constables. Sorry you don't like my videos. Do you think I've got those 11 thumbs downs? Because I might be eating somebody they know. Oh no, I said I wasn't going to eat that. I'll wait. Well, I'll tell you what, I do apologise. I'm looking at, I've just flipped over to the actual YouTube page and the chat comments are flying past, but in StreamYard they're going slowly. So I apologise if any of you have asked any questions or made any comments and I've not responded to you. I clearly haven't seen them. They're not showing all the comments on StreamYard, so I do apologise. Oh, I can't do cake. You know what they say? Minute on the lips, half an hour on the toilet. Oh, hang on, no, that's not what they say, is it? It does. I need to really get used to using what's the other one? Streamlabs. That's what I need to get used to using. But problem is, I don't want to start using new things yet. I need to get this whole setup sorted out and do it that way, and then come back with a learn to use the Streamlabs properly at that point. I think Trump must have drunk an awful lot of oh, what was it called? Oh, I can't remember what it was called now. No, it's gone. What was that drink? What was that orange drink called? That they said if you drank too much of it, it turned your skin yellow. Piss. Sunny D. There we go. Unknown person. Sunny D. Thank you. Yeah, I think Trump's had an awful lot of Sunny D. So I've messaged Pinaki News because the video that we're going to use needs to be reset. Basically, it needs to be set to private, and it will wipe all the comments and then set back again. At the moment, I'm still waiting for him, so I'm going to have to, I think, come up with another idea. Actually, no, I could still do it on here because all of those are from 5 days ago. So I could still do it. Let me... Let's try this. I can't see any comments at the moment, folks, by the way. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this if I can't get Mr. Pinaki News on. Right, it doesn't say. Right, that's going to be a problem. So have I got a video on here where I can do that too? I don't think I have. Yes, I have. Yep. Let's do that. We'll change that to private, and that should... if I remember rightly, get rid of the comments. No. I was sure that that wiped the comments. Clearly it doesn't. Rats. Okay. Magic roundabout. Right. Okay. I'm not sure how to do this. Yes, I am. Right, okay, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. Now, you might find that, unfortunately, there might be a little bit of lag going on. But I've figured out what I can do if this works. Come on. Damn it. Why is it not doing it? Oh, how annoying. Okay. Let me do it over here. Excuse me, turning me back on you guys. 1 second. There we go. Right, I figured out what I'm going to do. Right, so what I'm doing, right, my apologies, folks. What I've just done there is I've stolen the video off of Panaki's channel, and I'm now uploading it to my channel. Okay, that won't take long. It'll take about 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll give you the link, and we'll do it that way because it'll be a fresh video, no comments, and we can do this properly. Anyway, yeah, stealing. Don't tell the police. Right, tell you what, while I'm waiting for that, because I am going to do CC. Oh, actually, I should have finished my should have finished my sentence then, rather than saying I'm going to do CC. That's really not what I meant to say. CC, I love you, brother, but not like that. How's your leg, my friend? Okay, right, for those of you who are new to the channel, and I know there's been quite a few of you who are new, so while I'm just waiting for this video to sort itself out, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Sorry to hear that. This is what is being given away this evening. Now, let me get something to... There we go. Right. This is the little mini body cam which is being given away. It's HD, comes with infrared so you can see in the dark, comes with a coronavirus now, comes with coronavirus as well. I didn't cough on it, by the way, I coughed behind my hand. It comes with motion detect as well. Comes with a little clip. You just clip it into there. Clip it onto your pocket or somewhere. Comes with a little stand, so you can use it as a you can use it indoors. And it also comes with a mini USB to USB cable. And it also comes with a plug there, so you can plug it into TV and see what's on there. You will need, unfortunately, to buy your own SD card. Yeah, you can use it as a porn cam, Lucifer. You can use anything you like, as long as you upload the footage to YouTube. But the good thing about it is it's small. I know a lot of people, there's a lot of people that worry. They feel, you know, they feel a bit embarrassed about getting a great big phone out and recording, you know, what they're doing. Although you shouldn't be worried about it, because you have every right to do that. So some people are worried about it. So this is a lot easier for people to help keep you safe from tyrants and Nazis. Okay. Don't need to don't need to worry about any of that, any of that, any of that. But what I do need is that, and I need to send that to there. Job done. Oh, job's a good one. Right. Oh, God, I'm throwing things on the floor now. Okay, so in a few minutes, I'm going to be putting a link in the live chat. There we go. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word for that then. I'd love to go live every night, but people would certainly get fed up of looking at my fat face. And I wouldn't want to make anybody ill while they're eating their dinner. You got fined for your video. Fined? What do you mean fined for a video? How long's the channel been going? Since February last year. End of February. Fox 8 Ball, what was it? What do you mean that you got fined for your video? I'm just going to get this, just want to get a response here, guys, and then I'm going to pop the link in the comments. So don't go anywhere. There's 284 of you. Am I wearing trousers? I am tonight. I wasn't going to because it's quite warm. You filmed the police at your house and you've been fined for it. What can they fine you for filming at your house? They can't fine you for filming at your house. Lee Lifeson. Bet you don't have a job. Who? Bet who hasn't got a job? Me? Says the man jumping on a live stream telling someone that he thinks he hasn't got a job. Okay. Well, I'm sure your opinion really matters to nobody. If you don't like what you're watching, you know what you can do, don't you? See ya. Right, okay, folks. Here it is. Free. Right, you remember when this link goes in the comments here, you have 5 minutes to go and only type your username, nothing else. Just go to this video, in the comments, type your username, nothing else, and only do it once, because if you do it more than once, then you'll be disqualified from this competition. So, ready? Everybody ready? Hello, Pinaki. Don't worry. I've sorted it, mate. Go. You got 5 minutes from now. Mr. Pinaki, I've stolen the video. One of your last videos, just to do this on. Okay, I'll take it off afterwards, but I've stole it and uploaded it to mine because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get in touch with you, mate. That's all. Please don't copyright strike me. Awesome. I hope you're doing all right anyway, Pinaki News. No, that's all right, mate. No worries. Tony, not in here. You need to click that link that I've just posted, and you need to go type your username on that video in the comments. Andrew, no. The link that I'm posting, that link I've just posted, you need to click that link, go to that video. In the comments of that video that I've just linked to in the comments, that's where you need to type your username. Well, you still got minutes left anyway. 2.5 minutes left. No, it needs to be your username. Needs to be your username, I'm afraid. I moved it back, look, so I could eat one. Harry, not in here, mate. You need to click that link I've just posted. You need to click that link. You need to go to that video that I've just linked to in the live comments here. And that's the video you need to put your name on. Okay, got about 1.5 minutes left, folks. All right, I'm just going to keep popping this link in the description, in the comments here, just so everybody knows where they need to go. Just in case you've missed it, hit that link that I'm posting now. Get on over to that video. Username. If your username is your name, then that's fine. So whatever it displays on here is the name that you need to type in. For example, Head On Enterprises would type Head On Enterprises. John Smith would type John Smith. Tyrant Finder UK would type Tyrant Finder UK. Can you make fun of me afterwards? Yeah, of course you can. Of course you can. I've got thick skin. I don't mind. What if your username is offensive? I don't care. No worries, Pinaki. No problem at all, mate. No rush at all. Jay, you would just write Jay. That's what your username is there. Right, that's it. That's it. guys and girls and guys. Any names that are put in from now will not be accepted. We've got 142 comments, it says here. 142 comments. Let me open this up. So, right. Link. Let's see what this says. Come on now, reload. Right, folks. Now I'm going to show you dog snoring, apologies. I will be showing you the tab so you can see that this is completely random. Okay. Can you see this, folks? Just give us a thumbs up or a yes. Right. Let me make that bigger so you can see. Okay. So I've put the link in. Pick random winner. I need to check and make sure that this has only got one comment. A. Angelini. I need to double check first of all and make sure A. Angelini is only one comment. Ooh, come on. Goodness me, this is running terrible. This is the problem that we've got at the moment. Everybody is online because they've got nothing else to do, and the whole internet is just lagging. And it is a pain in the ass. Right, are we nearly there yet? Come on, YouTube. Oh my goodness, YouTube. Surely you can handle the little bit of extra pressure you've got. Right. It seems that A. Angelini, has won. Congratulations. But I need to know that she has. Can you just pop up again for me, please, A. Angelini? Just give us a hello. Hello, there you are. Congratulations, A. Angelini. You are now the proud owner of a mini body cam. What I need you to do, because obviously I need to send this to you, and I need to just verify as well, so I ask everybody to do the same thing. If you can take a photo or a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube, and the reason I do this is because it stops anybody from sending me a fake email. Do you know what I mean? And saying, oh, this is my email. You know, because anybody can have any words for email address, can't they? So it just stops me from sending it to somebody who it's not. So if you can send me a photo or a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube, so I can see your username on the page. You know, if you go into your dashboard, and email that to policeabusingpowers@gmail.com with your address, and I will get that sent off to you tomorrow. If you get me that information today, I will get that sent off to you tomorrow. Yeah, and that's it. Brilliant. Excellent. So are you okay? Are you okay to do that for us, A. Angelini? As I say, take a photo or a screenshot of you logged into your dashboard, just so it shows your name in the dashboard, so I know that it's you that I'm sending it to, and drop your address as well. And if you can email me that tonight, then I can get this off to you tomorrow. But congratulations. Tell you about my fetish for eating pigs. I could eat this stuff all day long. I mean, look at that one. It almost looks like a pig's tail, doesn't it? No worries. No worries, A. Angelini. If you do it tomorrow early enough, I can still get it off to you tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, whenever you're ready, it's here waiting. As I say, just need that info, and I'll get it off to you same day or following day, and it will be done for next day delivery as well. But congratulations, well done. It's just a shame we haven't got more to give out, unfortunately, because I'd love everybody to have a camera for protection. Yeah, it happens, Dean. It happens. It's all right. It's all right. Send it to headquarters. You got your pap cards, Motty lad. Sweet. Brilliant. Was that about a supplier or something there? What it was the hats. It was the hats. I was having trouble with the supplier. Although you can get hats through the merch store in the description. Excuse me. To get them quicker, I'm getting them from somewhere else for the people that get their hat through being a Patreon supporter, for example. There's some people on a particular levels get a free hat. But for those ones, I've had to find an alternative. So those of you who are Patreon supporters, if you're watching now, which I know some of you are, if you're on Inspector or above, I did put a post in the other day with regards to the new hats that are slightly different. They're exactly the same, they just don't have this coloured accent around the rim. That's all. So all I need from you guys, if you can have a look at that picture in Patreon that's been posted at some point, and email me through Patreon to let me know what colour you want, and I will get that done for you straight away. There is still one Bob Love to give away. I think there's 6 left, Pinaki, I think, without having a look. They're across the room at the moment. I'll give you a shout. I'll have a look shortly, and I'll let you know. Unfortunately, Unicorn Sparkle Fart. What a cracking name. I was still waiting for Ian to get back to me with regards to that. And I asked him several times, and it was always, initially it was okay with it, and then after that it was, I haven't got the time, too busy, too busy, too busy. Now, actually, he might not have so much work to do, so it might be worth me dropping him a line. In fact, I need to speak to him anyway about my own case. But I do know that CrimeBodge has also since spoke to him and asked him to do the same through CrimeBodge's channel. So I don't know what quite is going on there yet, so it just needs to sort of find out. Dave, I would love to give everybody on this live, I would love to give you all one. Every one of you. I'm going to leave you to think about that while I just have a look over here. This isn't cake, by the way, Holly, so don't get your hopes up. I'll tell, if you're still here, Pinaki, I'll tell you now, mate. Six. Pinaki knows I have 6. And 1 Bob Love still to give away. Still in a box. See, it's not opened. Still there. So I have, we've got 6 of the mini cameras to give away and 1 of the Boblovs. So if you want to get the Boblov, you're going to have to be here every week, because I might give it away next week or the week after, or it might be in 6 weeks time. But that's what we've got left. 7 cameras. The Boblov is a Bodycam. Can you hear me now? John Boy, people that have got a spanner next to their name, it means they're a spanner. Especially that Holly, proving Molly. No, people with a spanner are moderators. They make sure that nobody says anything that's going to send me off to my safe space. Oh, the mods do. Yeah, mods work for me. They work for the community. That's what they do. They work for the community. Have I got a safe? If you think I need a safe space, doing what I do, I would literally be hibernated in a safe space. The amount of abuse I get, I would literally be curled up in a ball in a safe space. "12 Red Rose," no problem. I'm glad you enjoy the content. You know, as I said earlier, it's not about me telling people what to think. I just literally want to pass information on to people. I will give my opinion, but most of what I do, I pass information on to people. I give you the sources where I get that information from, and I just hope that people, hopefully off of the back of what I do, I hope that people will go and start to learn for themselves. Do you know what I mean? I might say something that clicks in your head and you'll go, oh, actually, let me go and have a look at that. And it just means you'll go and look up stuff yourself. You know what I mean? And you can always come back to the community. You've got the comments there. You can always come back and ask questions. If I can answer them, then I will do. But that's ultimately what I want to do. I just want people to understand that they've got rights. I want people to know that they've got the right to stand up for those rights. That's true, Roger. That's true. Now, I actually, somebody mentioned it yesterday in a comment about, you know, the Marie Dinu. Most of you probably know that name. Marie Dinu was the first person in the country to get taken to court under the coronavirus regulations, if you remember that. Arrested by British Transport Police. Wrongly used the legislation. Well, I sent a message to her yesterday to ask her if she would want to come and chat. I haven't had a reply yet. I'm hoping that she will reply. She might not, but I'm hoping that she will, because it would be nice to have somebody on. I mean, Head and Enterprises, I saw your video earlier. You went out and you stayed completely silent, and the traffic warden left you alone, so to speak. But it would be nice to, you know, from the point of view from somebody who, you know, absolutely refused to speak. You know, she just refused to say anything to anybody. You know, and it would be nice to hear from somebody that can sort of say to some of you guys, well, look, you know, it's not that bad. Had to sit in a cell for a few hours and what? Get a cup of coffee, cup of tea. If you're in there overnight, you can still go to sleep in there. Okay, it's not very comfortable, but still, it's not like you're pinned up on the wall or chained up a wall hanging from your wrists. You know what I mean? It's not that bad. So hopefully she might get in touch. Yes, Stephen. Stephen, what's up? To be honest, not having a cigarette ain't that bad when you're in there. I mean, I'm a chain, what you call a chain smoker, and I thought I was going to go out of my nut, but I was all right. Stephen Plasterer. I'm not sure if you was calling to me just now in the comments there, but there is a big lag on this. Well, that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do is just get your nut down and have a sleep. You know, it's no big deal. It's no big deal at all. People think it's, you know, I'm not, you know, jail, you know, prison, yeah. You know, nobody wants to go to prison. But a police cell is nothing, really. What did I ask you before, Motty lad? I asked if you had Discord. Stephen, which picture, mate? I'm not sure. Is it one you've just sent? Because my phone's on silent and I tend not to... I tend to put my phone on silent when I'm doing a live stream. So is it a picture that you've just sent, Stephen? You know, this whole thing about, if you think about it, right, spending 24 hours in a police cell after having to spend the last 5 weeks with your family, there's got to be a result. Discord has been set up and is in the process of being sorted out. But I will have a Discord link available soon. People in... Hello. What do you want? You want to get on... You're so jealous, aren't you? Look. Just say hello. Say hello. Hello, baby. Ah, hello. Hello. Mwah. Don't get. Be careful. And you. Come on in. Hello. So jealous, aren't you? Aren't you? You're so jealous, girl. Hey? You jealous girl? Yes, you are. Okay. Okay, don't forget. Don't forget. Yeah, that's why I'm using the inside of my shirt to, to rub that itch on my eye there. They're both girls. Alice was the little fat one that jumped up first of all, and the one with the white and the whitish or almost a white face is Daisy. I am allergic to dogs. That's why I'm getting itches now. That's why I'm using the inside of my shirt to rub where I'm getting itches on my face rather than using my hands. What was I saying before she interrupted? Because that was very rude of her. Yes, right. So, yeah, you've been, going and sitting in a police cell for 24 hours with them coming knocking at the door every hour saying, "You're going to give us your name?" And you go, "No." In fact, you don't even say that. Just stay asleep, keep your eyes closed. Anyway, yeah, Discord, because I just went off topic there. Discord, those people that are Patreon supporters will have access first of all. And then I will be sorting out a link for everybody else to come in at some point during the week, hopefully. Dark Light, yes, I am. Thank you very much for asking. Discord is a chat server. Well, unfortunately, unknown person. Well, not unfortunately. There's cameras in the cell, but they've got a little black square over the toilet, so you could sit on the toilet and have a tug, and they wouldn't see it on the camera as such. But you just don't want them opening the hatch on the door while you're doing it. Joe Black. No, unfortunately, it was somebody called Angelina Angelini who won. Yeah, well, the Discord. Discord is pretty good, so I'm told. I'm still racking people's brains on how to use it properly, but yeah, the thing with Discord as well is President Trump set up something so all of my videos on here, every video that uploads, automatically gets linked in Discord. So you'll get a notification through Discord of every video, whereas YouTube have a habit of not notifying everybody. The third picture you sent me, let me have a look. Okay. Oh, come on, what are you doing? Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I see that, Stephen. So, um, Stephen Plaster has just sent me a. I'm not going to go into detail, Stephen. Okay, I'm just going to say Stephen Plaster has just sent me a picture there of something where he was interviewed for something, and it says there that he'd said nothing at all the way through. In fact, I've not looked at any of. Yes, Stephen. I've not looked at any of the other pictures apart from that one, so I don't know what the whole situation is. So I'm not going to say anything more than that. Um, it's difficult to show the picture. To try and show it on this camera from here, you're not going to be able to see it. Um, I will see. What I'll try and do is I'll try and let me speak to you. Let me speak to you afterwards, Stephen. And what I'll do is I'll maybe put a post together and pop it in the community page on here, and then people can see it. But we'll have a chat afterwards, Stephen, if that's okay. Because I don't want to say anything that you don't want me to say, and I've not read all of those last messages with those pictures, so I want to be careful what I say in case I say something wrong. I don't want to do that. So, Alan Blair, you can send in the header image on my channel. There is a telephone number for a WhatsApp, which is for sending stuff. Or you can send it by email, or if you've got Facebook or Twitter, you can send stuff through there as well. All of the links are in the description. The thing with a voluntary interview is if you agree to go to a voluntary interview, you have to, and you decide to stay quiet, then they can use it against you, which is why you should never go to a voluntary interview. You should always let them arrest you, because a voluntary interview, you are ultimately waiving your right to silence. Cop Watch UK, exactly, and that's exactly what I've been saying for ages. We have to. There's no point. There is absolutely no point in going mad and causing problems, as in breaking the law to get heard. There's no point, because ultimately they've got all the power, because they've got the law that they can use and abuse. What we have to do is we have to learn how to use the law to our advantage. Joe Black, it doesn't work. I don't know why, but this doesn't work like that. It won't pick up. The only thing it does with my phone is picks it up as a. Oh no, actually, I could use it as a. Yeah. No, I can't. I haven't got a spare USB port on here. I'll stick it. I will stick it in the. I will stick it in the community page on the channel, and we'll put a post together. I'll speak to Stephen and I'll find out, and we'll put a post together, and I'll pop it in the community page of the channel. In the good old days, you just said no comment to questions. You can still say that now, Mark. That's the thing. But if you go to a voluntary, and so if they come and knock on your door and say to you, look, we're not going to arrest you, but we want you to agree to come in and speak to us, your agreement to go and speak to them is you waiving your rights to be quiet. So you should always never go. Let them arrest you. in order to take a statement, and that way you can say nothing. Andy, I mean, they could, but it's unlikely. I mean, they would. I know at the moment they only need one doctor to do any of this mental health stuff at the moment. But it's very unlikely that you're going to get sectioned for not talking to them. You know, if a doctor turns up and says and says to you, "Why aren't you talking? Is there something wrong with you?" You just say to them, "There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just not talking to them." So you can talk to the doctor and explain to the doctor why you're saying nothing. But it's just don't speak to the police. What there is, right, one thing you can do if you're out during this coronavirus thing, the one thing you can do is give them your reason for being out and then be quiet. Okay, you can do that. That's fine. When I say don't say anything, the reason I say don't say anything is because there's a lot of people that as soon as they get into a conversation with the police, they get really loose-lipped. Okay, and they think, oh, actually, this copper's not so bad, and then they start talking, and then they start putting themselves into trouble. Okay, so you can, if you are in that situation and the police stop you, if you're worried that they may take your silence and and use it to prove your guilt of something, you can turn round and say to them, "I'm doing my exercise, I'm going shopping, I'm going to help somebody who needs care," and then say nothing, because you've told them what you're doing. You don't need to, you don't need to prove that you're doing it. It's the same as key workers. Key workers do not need letters or proof that they're going to work. Okay, so you can tell them if you want. You can tell them what you're doing, or not where you're going. You never want to tell them exactly where you're going. If they want to say where are you going, and you say I'm going to the shop, going to get essentials, and that's all you need to do. But other than that, say nothing. Exactly, Bill. Exactly. Adverse inference. And that's because you're ultimately saying to them, I'm happy to come and speak to you, by agreeing to go voluntary. And then if you're there and then all of a sudden say, well, actually, I don't want to answer that question, then it looks bad. So never go for a voluntary interview. No worries. I'll check that video out when the live stream's finished. Carl, when you're arrested, okay, when they arrest you, the first thing they say is you do not have to say anything. Anything you do say will be used against you. Okay. Although they do say if you don't say something now that you later rely on in court, that can cause a problem. But that's only if you need to rely on something in court. But remember, the burden of proof is on the police. Okay? And this is why the police are always asking questions, because they're always trying to find proof. No comment is the same as saying nothing. You don't have to say no comment. You can just say nothing. But that's in an interview under caution. If you go for a voluntary interview, if you agree to go and talk to them and then say nothing, then that will get used against you. being uncooperative, Lego Batman. See, there's nothing that says that we have to be cooperative. That's the thing. There's nothing that says we have to self-incriminate. If one of the things to remember as well, guys, is coronavirus. Let's talk about the coronavirus legislation. I've looked through that, and I know some of you have as well. There's nothing in there that is arrestable. And what I mean by that is there's nothing in there that is indictable. There are no indictable offences in the coronavirus legislation. Everything in there that you can get done for is a fixed penalty notice or a fine. Okay? Fixed penalty notice or a fine. So whatever happens, you're not going to prison. Unless you do something terribly wrong. But you're not going to prison based on the coronavirus legislation. In fact, I will dig it out and I'm going to do a video on it. Somebody sent me a link. Can't remember who it was now, but I've got a link here somewhere where the police, it's a form or it's an article for police. Okay. It's something to do with your rights when you get arrested, and it's for police, not for us. It's for police. And it says in there, if you're police and you're arrested, say fuck all. So I'm going to dig that out and I'll do a video on it at some point. Okay? But if the police are told not to say anything, then we sure as hell can say nothing at all. See, the thing is, non-payment of fines then becomes an imprisonable offence, you see. Not paying your fine becomes an imprisonable offence. If you get a fine during this coronavirus thing, okay, what you have to do is you have to appeal it. Everybody needs to appeal any fine that they've got. Everybody. You need to clog up the system with appeals. Oh, excuse me. I did, Vicky. I saw that video. It was one I was going to do before the weekend, but I didn't have the time to do it. No, Roger, no news yet. Yeah, cop watch. See, the thing is, what you get from the police, and I slipped up in my video the other day, and I said the word fine when I meant fixed penalty notice. Police can give you fixed penalty notices. Okay, enforcement officers can give you fixed penalty notice. If you don't pay the fixed penalty notice, then you can get a fine, and it's that fine that can be enforced with prison if you don't pay it, because it's ultimately you're telling the court to go and, cop suck. Yeah, it can be the same here, Paul. If you don't pay a fine, they can take it out of your benefits or go straight to your work and ask your employer to make deductions as well. What, read that statement that you sent me, Steve? The only reason that I've not read it out is because I've not. That's only sort of half a page of several posts that you've sent me, and I've not gone through all of them last ones that you've sent me yet. And I don't want to give half of the information. I want people to understand it. So in order to do that, I need to understand it myself. That's why. That's why I want to go through it first and make sure that I'm not saying anything incorrectly. Do you know what I mean? The last thing I want to do is give information based on just a snippet of what you've sent me. So it's not that I'm trying to hide it from anybody, promise you. I just don't want to give information that is not complete. Barcodes, you can do that. My BitChute is set up to do that. Unfortunately, it doesn't pull all of the videos, and I don't know why. I need to look into it properly. Well, Mr. Nick Adderley from Northamptonshire Police. So I'm going to give you a heads up on tomorrow's news. Nick Adderley from Northamptonshire Police has actually been boasting. Now, this is the guy that said that they were going to start setting up roadblocks and going through people's shoppings before Priti Patel said, no, we're not. And then he backtracked in quite spectacular fashion. Well, he has actually said that burglary rates have dropped by about 34%, I think it is. But that's this year. Burglary rates have dropped around 34% this year. But it's got nothing to do with coronavirus. Okay, are you sure? Considering most of this year, or at least the last half of this year so far, whatever, we have been, not been able to go out. People have been at home for weeks, and yet he's trying to say, it's because of us doing such great work. It's got nothing to do with the fact that every fucker's at home, and burglars don't necessarily like going into homes when the whole family are in. Yes, they do break in still when people are in and in bed, but a lot of the burglars that would have done, opportunist burglars aren't doing that because they can't. But the police are going, oh, yeah, it's because of our great work. Fuck off. Apparently, I've only heard so far of one police constable that's supposed to have died from coronavirus, and two chief constables that are supposed to have survived it. King 7-7, what's happening? What have I missed? Someone's pointing a camera in your window. If somebody's pointing a camera through your window, if they're coming onto your property, for example, and pointing a camera through your window, that's an invasion of your privacy and trespassing. If you're in your home, then obviously you have an absolute right of privacy whilst you're in your home. If, however, they're standing on the pavement at the end of your garden, for example, that could be deemed as harassment if they're doing it often. If they're doing it through your sort of front room window, for example. But there's not a great deal that you can do if they're out on the pavement videoing or taking pictures. But if they're continually pointing it at your window and you can prove that they're doing it on regular occasions, then you could put that down as harassment, because it's being done on regular intervals, for example. Has anyone heard anything from the police and crime commissioners? I'll tell you one thing about the police and crime commissioners. Chief constables are getting the hump with them. I'm not going to give you too much information because it's in tomorrow's report. But the chief constables are getting the hump with crime commissioners. Mark Watson, let me have a look back, see. I'm trying to find... It's difficult to keep up with all the comments you see, Mark, so I do apologise. I'm trying to find... Right, there we go. You had a run-in with the local force today. Have I got grounds to say it was essential? There was a COVID-19 assistance briefing from your Army Area Command. Well, I would imagine that's classed as essential. I would imagine that would be classed as essential, Mark. I would assume. If it's a briefing to do with COVID and you're in the armed forces, there's a potential that you're going to be called upon. So I would imagine, as I say, that's classed as an essential journey. King 77703. Is there any way that you can record them? So when I say that, is there any way that if you notice them outside, is there any way that you can just get your phone out and just film from inside? You don't have to let them see you doing it, and just film and just say on camera, okay, just say today is such and such a day, the time is such and such, I've just noticed that they're filming me. And then get a record of it. And then when they do it again, do the same thing. Get another record of it. date, time, say the date and time. Well, if it's on your neighbour's CCTV, as long as it's showing her coming to your property and not you going to her, then you shouldn't have a problem, I wouldn't have thought. By her coming to you, that's her instigating something. Yeah? If you went to somebody else's property, or if you went to stand outside somebody else's house and then they started filming you, and then you said, they're filming me, the police would turn around and say, well, you came here first, didn't you? So providing you can prove that that person is coming to you off their own volition, then you should be fine with that. Sav Costa, as in Savas. Yeah, sounds. I've just see the notification there. Thank you. With regards to the hats, that if you look at the posts on Patreon, there's some information on in those posts there. I think the pinned post. The hats, and on the highest level there's an item of clothing from the PAP store as well, but everything is done after the second payment. Now again, there is information that I've put on there to make sure everybody is aware, and what's the word I'm thinking of, transparent. To be transparent, I have got that post on Patreon that explains about how the payments are done. Hats and items from the merch store for the highest level, they get done after the second payment. Okay. It depends what you want to swap it for, Clockwatch UK. Give us a shout on WhatsApp, and we'll have a chat. But yeah, it's after the second payment that the gift goes out. Trump, that's entirely up to you. Entirely up to you. The option I've as I say, I try and keep the patrons updated in the messages on there. So you know what the situation is. But yeah, I mean, you let me know what you want to do, and we'll do that. I'll tell you what I could do, Trump, is I could just get the hat without the accent on it. I've got some crayons in the cupboard. I'll just draw a line on for you. Dave, yeah, Manchester Airport at the moment are actually they've actually said that you can only pick somebody up from the airport if you're from the same household. That's what they've said. You can only pick somebody up from the airport if you're from the same household. Now, I'm wondering about all those people that wanted to get a taxi home. If you can only pick, you're only allowed to pick somebody up if they're from the same household. Thank you, Bill. It's very kind of you. How do you put a complaint of harassment against the police? Now, you can do it yourself. I'll be honest, I'm not the best person with all the knowledge on that side of things. The best person to speak to with regards to things like that is going to be Crime Bodge. Or I can give you the details of a brief who deals specifically with action against the police. He's very good. In fact, he's classed as the top action against police solicitor in the country, and he's actually up the road from me here in Liverpool. But he's dealt with cases around the country, so I can always give you information to contact him if you'd like to. Who's off? Is that who's going? Good night, Lego Batman. Too much information, but take it easy. All right then, Stephen. I shall speak to you. I'll send you a message shortly anyway, and we'll work out what's going on with those messages you sent me. Copwatch UK. I've been saying this for ages. The police's dress code, the police dress code, says that they're not allowed to wear badges or pins that may cause offence to others. The thin blue line badge is supposed to be a charity thing. However, it still causes offence to people, but yet they ignore that fact and they carry on wearing it. Looking, Hedden, looking forward to what? What have I missed? Did I say something then? What are you looking forward to? No, Ringo, you're thinking of the right organisation, but that's only for 1 month of the year. Tom, you're right. You are right. I mean, if we put a flag up, if we put a Union Jack up, what happens? We can get told to take it down. Even a normal Union Jack, we can get told to take it down. Carl, I shall let you know. I have somebody. I'm not sure if he's on here, who has agreed to help me with some images. Excuse me. They've agreed to help me with some images to help promote. But I will have some news on that maybe by next weekend. Natanya Goldrich, if you wore a Union Jack down the street, people might think you're Jerry Halliwell. See you later, King. Thing is, Copwatch, it's going to take more than one complaint. That's the problem. Everybody needs to be doing it. If you see a police constable with a blacked out Union Jack, whether it's got a blue line on it or not, you need to be making a complaint and saying that's not our country flag. That's offensive. You need to make complaints. Stephen, you can swear anyway, even if the moderators are here. I've got nothing against people using free speech and expressing themselves, as long as it's not, as long as you're not targeting somebody. And I mean, you can tell somebody they're a fucking prick. I don't mind that. But if you target somebody and keep on at them, then we'll have to do something about it. If you're wearing Union Jack undies, you've got to go half-mast. It's just a normal cigarette, salty dog. I don't even know how to say that. I need an American accent to say that. You had a call from an officer, constable. They're constables. Regarding your incident, apparently you were stopped because you was displaying your national flag and they couldn't read the text on your patch. What do you mean they couldn't read the text on your patch? Ringo, if you like the word cockwomble, you should go and check out the merch store. You say to stay quiet when stopped, so if you don't say anything in court, will you not be held in contempt of court? What I say to that, and it's what I've said in previous videos, if you get arbitrarily convicted of something, even contempt of court, because you've not spoken, I would fight that as a human rights issue. And this is a problem, right? We can't stop. We can't stop being charged with stuff, okay? Even if we're quiet, we can't stop being charged with things, okay? Unfortunately. Doesn't work like that, but being quiet will help. But what you have to do is you have to appeal it. Okay, people go to court. So let's say people are quiet. They go to court and they're quiet. They don't say anything, and the court says, right, you're in contempt of court. And they say, right, 1 month in the slammer, right? Okay, so the first thing you do is, the very first thing you do is you speak to your brief who's sitting next to you and say, right, appeal this, okay? Human rights. I'm completely within my right. Nobody can make you speak, right? It's your God-given right not to talk to somebody if you don't want to. Nobody can make you speak. It's just that what you have to do is you have to make sure you follow it up, because they'll try and make you speak and they'll threaten you and they might even put you into prison. They might do that. But the thing is, most people at that point will go, okay, all right, I'll speak. Instead of saying, no, fuck it, I'll just fight it. And this is the problem. This is what I was saying with people having a jelly backbone. Not everybody, don't get me wrong. There's people out there with families and they can't afford to go to prison and fight it, okay? Because they need to be there for their families, and that's fine, absolutely fine. I'd never hold it against somebody if they said, okay, look, I can't go through with this because I've got a family that needs looking after. But if you can, you should follow through. Not actually follow through, because that'd be messy, but you should follow through your threat, if you like, your threat of staying silent. And then appeal it under human rights. Human rights should be taught in school, absolutely, Bill. There's a lot of things that they fail to teach in school, which would actually make a massive difference. If people were taught their human rights, okay, if people were taught the basic laws, actual laws, I'm not talking about the add-ons, I'm not talking about the ridiculous acts and statutes, but if people were taught the laws as in harm, loss and damage, don't cause people harm, don't cause people loss, don't cause people damage, okay? If children learn that from an early age, okay, and they understand what the consequences of breaking the actual law is, and knowing about their human rights, then maybe they will appreciate other people's human rights. See what I mean? And I've said this for ages. They just do not teach this stuff in school, and I think that if they did, it would make a huge difference. No, you're absolutely right, Vicky. I totally agree with you. That's what they want. And that's why I'm saying they should teach stuff that's actually going to be useful in a society that understands right from wrong, understands people's human rights, and understands how to respect them. Because at the moment, kids don't. Kids don't respect them. Yet Pinaki News homeschools, and he says it's the best thing that he's done. He loves doing it. Proving Molly, can you not use big words? I was beginning to think somebody else is typing that for you. Yeah, the Yanks have got the Constitution. We've got nothing. See, look, the Constitution came from here, and yet we don't even have one. How do you work that out? Do you know what I mean? We haven't got a constitution to rely on, but everywhere else has got a constitution based on our fucking constitution. So how does that work out that we've lost our, we've lost the backing of a constitution, and everybody else has got one that they nicked from us in the first place? You're attached to the Russian Federation Army Duty Heritage. Your patch stated that along with your position, combat medic. I don't see why there would be anything wrong with that. What was it they're trying to do you for? Well, I know some people are going to disagree with me. You say that we've got the Magna Carta. I say we had the Magna Carta. As they say, if you don't use it, you lose it. And unfortunately, because for so long, people have not used or bothered about it, it's got to a point where it's literally nobody gives a shit about it anymore. Well, Stephen, what we might be able to do at some point is if we go through this information that you've sent me, maybe we can talk. Maybe get you on here on a live stream, or we can do a recording in private, and then I can put it up as a video. And maybe I'll ask you some questions about it. Yeah, Steve, we'll have a chat. Most of tomorrow's report is done, unless anything comes up tomorrow that I need to add. But most of tomorrow's report is done, which means I'll be able to get the video sorted out nice and early, which means I'll have a few hours in the evening. So I will have a look through that stuff you've sent me. We'll have a chat on the phone tomorrow, and we'll see what we can work out. Take it easy, Sav. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate that. Adrian, when I get when I've got the money to buy the stuff, and I need to set up as well. I literally haven't got the, and I didn't think about it at the time, but I haven't got the equipment to set up in order to do it. At the moment, I am in the process of looking for a new camera to use for my live streams and stuff. That I can also buy a cradle, so I can sort of put it over so I can get better views and stuff, and I can start doing some bits and pieces. But at the moment, I'm waiting to get those bits and pieces so that I can do that. Is that a new one, Roger, from Experimentalist? Because I'll go and check that out later. Thank you, Cream and Whiskers. I appreciate that. I mean, to be fair, Crime Bodge has studied the laws for a lot longer than I have. I try and always show where I get my information from, and I also let people know if I am speaking opinion or if I'm talking about something in particular, you know, proof of something. As I say, Crime Bodge is far more knowledgeable than I, although I try my very best to give information that is correct and also by sharing my opinion with people. I think that helps as well, because sometimes it's easier to tell people how you interpret something, because you could be on the same level as them, you know, the same wavelength, and understand things a bit better. But I appreciate you saying that. It's very kind. Thank you. Go Mad, how you doing? Henry, yeah, this will be up tomorrow, unless YouTube take it down. They shouldn't, but yeah, it should be up. Good night, Mark J. Thank you. Oh, this is getting bad. Look. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought, actually. Although the greys are coming through, you can see, look at them roots. Jesus. YouTube arresting me. They certainly don't like sending notifications out to everybody. What I was going to do with my hair, because when I first started my channel, you must have seen that I didn't have much hair at all. Now, what I was going to do is I was going to grow my hair, and then at Christmas I was going to cut it all off, and I was going to see if people would sponsor in order to give to charity. but I didn't get round to doing it. So I may do that. I may just keep it growing for now until Christmas, and that'll be 2 years worth of growth, or thereabouts, sort of 6 to 18 months worth of growth, and then cut it off again for charity. But we'll see. We're struggling, Ian. Even on YouTube, we're struggling with free speech, unfortunately. Oh, sorry to hear that, Brian. I hope you're feeling better, or I hope you feel better. I've only started wearing a hat as of, well, I wear the hat more now I'm older than I did when I was younger. And I was still, look, I mean, my hair thinks I'm so ugly, it's trying to run away from my face. What happens if you refuse your name? Right. If you're asked, if a cop stops you in the street and asks you your name, you are under no obligation to give your name. No obligation at all. Okay. There are a couple of instances where you are said to be committing an offence if you don't give your details. For example, if you're driving, the police under 163 of the Road Traffic Act have the right to stop you. Under 164 and 165, they have the right to ask for your details. You don't have to speak your details. You can just give them or show them your driving licence, but you don't have to speak to them. There's nothing in the legislation that says that you have to speak to them. It just says to give your details, okay? And that can be done, written down, shown through a window, handed to them, whatever. I was arrested for this in February, and this is what started this channel. I was arrested in February last year. Now, situation was, I was learning how to build website templates. I went out with my camera. I walked up past the local police station. There's a police station, a fire station, and an ambulance station, all literally next door to each other. So I went up there to see if I could catch an emergency vehicle with lights on at night time, because it would have looked cool on the page. So I've gone up there and I've waited. No ambulance, no fire service came out. And all of a sudden, half a dozen police cars came out the back of the police station. So I went and stood at the back of the police station. And I thought, I'll capture a couple. Anyway, long story short, I got asked what I was doing. I explained, trying to get some stock footage. He didn't understand it, but after about 40 minutes or something like that, he'd spoken to his sergeant, tried to get my name the whole way through. Okay, what's your name, what's your name, what's your name, what's your name? Not telling you, not telling you, not telling you. Anyway, eventually, I was surrounded by 8 police. And they turned around and they said to me, under Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, because we believe you are causing antisocial behaviour, you are now required to give your details. Now, there was nobody there to cause antisocial behaviour towards. So, there was only police that were there. And if they're worried about somebody standing in full view of their cameras with a camera on a tripod, then maybe they shouldn't be police. But anyway, at that point, I knew what Section 50 meant. So I didn't refuse to give my details at that point. I was just questioning them on their use of the law. However, they didn't want to answer my questions. They said that I was still refusing when I wasn't. I was asking them to clarify why they're using Section 50 when nobody has been alarmed, harassed or distressed. So they didn't want to know, so they arrested me for failing to give my details. Okay, I got taken to the police station At which point I did give my details because I had to get back for the dogs. Okay. So I gave my details, but yet they still held me in a cell for several hours when they should have let me go. Now, Section 50 of the Police Reform Act, which is what they collared me on that night, is something that they're starting to use again now during this coronavirus situation. Okay, I had an email from an ex-sergeant who said to me about doing a video on Section 50 because the police are using Section 50 to get people's details, because under the Coronavirus Act, there is nothing under the Coronavirus Act that says that you have to give your details. The only time that you have to give your details, when I say that, there's nothing that gives them the arbitrary demand of your details. They can only ask for your details if they are giving you a fine. And if you fail to give your details at that point, then it's an offence. But rather than get to that point, because especially if they know they can't give you a fine, they're starting to use Section 50 of the Police Reform Act instead, and saying that your behaviour is causing alarm and distress to people. Yeah, that's it, Ken. Yeah, it was the inspector, a sergeant, and half a dozen plod, and they didn't like the fact that I knew what I was talking about. Tried to arrest me under Section 44 that hasn't existed for like 8 years at the time, 9 years. So then they decided to have a little powwow. What can we do? How can we get him? But yeah, it was quite amusing. Yes, Joshua, absolutely. There are times when you would expect to have privacy. Unfortunately, being outside, being in a car park, for example, even if that car park is on private property, if you are on public property and you can see into that car park, they have no expectation of privacy. If they want privacy, then they should put a wall around it. Do you know what I mean? And it's down to them to create that privacy. It's the same. This is why we have 4 walls and a door in our houses, because that's our privacy. We've created our privacy by having somewhere we can close ourselves in. So that's why you get, you have a complete expectation of privacy while you're in your home. If you're out at the cash point, for example, cash points are made in a way for you to be able to create a bit of privacy. Okay. It's like a little box, isn't it? And you get into it, and the only way to see what you're doing is for somebody to almost look over your shoulder. So you would expect to have a level of privacy at a cash machine, for example. Yeah. So you have a reasonable expectation of privacy there. But if you're just walking through the street, or if you're walking through a car park or something like that, then you've got no expectation of privacy. So what constitutes alarm and distress? Well, unfortunately, anything. That's the only answer I can give you. Unfortunately, anything can cause alarm and distress. It literally only takes somebody to say, I don't know, they were standing too close to me and it caused me alarm. Right, honestly, so if you're standing, I'll tell you what, if you're standing in town, right, and somebody's standing right up close to you, if you phoned the police, right, and said, I feel alarmed and distressed by this person, they're intimidating me, right, and they send somebody out, that person will get spoken to, right, because you've said it's alarmed you. So literally, it takes nothing to alarm. It's very subjective, exactly, David. It literally takes nothing to say that you're alarmed and distressed, unfortunately. With regards to the police, they can be alarmed and distressed. That's a bit of a misconception to say that when people say that they can't be. They can, but they have to have a higher tolerance. That's the situation with that. They have a higher tolerance because they are expected to face certain language in their job. Yeah, people raising their voices, that kind of thing. A police constable's fear, alarm and distress levels would be higher than a normal member of the public. And so they can be alarmed and distressed. As I say, it just takes more, or it should take more. I think we all know that it doesn't always, because some of the police are fairies. It's not vigilantes we need, solo outlaws. It's not vigilantes that we need. We just need people that are going to stand up for themselves. I don't agree with people breaking the law, right? I've broken the law, and I've never, ever hidden that fact, okay? I've broken the law. For those of you who are watching that don't know, you'll know if you've watched my older videos, but for those of you who are new to the channel and you don't know me very well, then I will explain. 5 years ago, I was arrested. I put my hands up, I was arrested. I got 18 months suspended for 2 years for growing weed. And I've never hidden that fact. Okay, never hidden that fact. If I do something wrong, I own it. I put my hands up and I own it. There's no point in lying about it. There's no point in bullshitting about it. But yeah, I got caught out growing weed. Okay, I got 18 months suspended for 2 years. So I'm not a goody. Okay. But I'm also not a complete and utter arsehole, criminal, thug type person, okay? I've done things in my time that I did. I put my hands up to it, do you know what I mean? And I take the punishment. Why wouldn't you? If you break the law, okay, and you get caught, nice try, but you got caught, you take the punishment for it. But if you are arbitrarily arrested and you have charges made up and you have people abusing the legislation and the law in order to get one up on you, because that's what a lot of people do, they use it just to teach you a lesson. That is what I fight back against. Okay? That's what I fight back against. If people break the law, fuck you. Suck it up and deal with the consequences. It's as simple as that. But if people aren't breaking the law, if people are clearly being picked on, that is what I will fight back against. That's what I will argue against, and that's the person that I will stick up for. But if somebody comes to me and they've broken the law and they say, Dan, this happened and that happened, and I say, well, what did you do? And they say, well, I did this, that and the other, then I'll be honest with them, as I'm always honest with everybody, and that is, well, look, you did that wrong. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? You cannot get away with breaking the law if you get caught. And it's silly to try and think that you can. So what I do is not about that. I just want people to understand, and the more people that know the law, personally, I think the more people will know what not to do. I think people won't necessarily break the law if they know the law. Tony, exactly. You make your bed, you lie in it, 100%. If they make the bed, then you don't lie in it. Then you fight back. Well, they said it was close to 100 grand. Clap for Pap. I like that. I like that. Yeah, you can add, I know six plants call it Percy, but you could probably add, I don't know, maybe another 80 or more on top of that. It was indoors. It was indoors. But anyway, let's not talk about me. A pap in Glasgow means tit. I've not heard of a pap. A bap, B-A-P, baps. Get your baps out down here. No, there was more than that, Matthew. Look, as I say, right, I've done things wrong. I've put my hands up to it, and I've taken a punishment for it. Okay, but I won't accept being arbitrarily screwed over because a cop doesn't like what I've got to say. Okay, because they feel butthurt. All right, and I will, where I can, try and help advise or point people in the right direction as to where they can get help if they've had the piss taken out of them by, and it's not just the police either. I've given advice on schools as well, with regards to schools and teachers and things, and I will always I will spend my time looking for information for people. You know what I mean? Oh, do you know, I don't mind no Gaza. I don't mind being called a tit. I've been called a lot worse, so I really don't mind being called a tit. Yeah, these two, they've been 69 in since Thursday. Yeah, Dave, exactly, exactly, and that's the thing, and that's what I fight back against where I can. People making things up to, to fit their arrest, shall we say? 58 without a criminal record got assaulted getting on a bus because he thought he was fare evading. This whole thing about punishment matching the crime sort of thing, right? Punishment needs to be in proportion to the crime. Being assaulted because somebody thinks you haven't got a ticket being grabbed hold of because somebody thinks you haven't got a ticket certainly isn't proportionate to the alleged crime. The police and other officials seem to have forgotten that if they speak to somebody with a bit of respect, then they're likely to get a bit of respect back. Exactly, respect is earned, but that's what I mean. If the police, if you were stopped, yes, Lucifer, it's starting to itch. If you're stopped and the police come up to you and they are respectful, rather than saying, "What are you doing? Where are you going? Get out of the car. Give me your keys." Yeah. If they come up to you and says to you, "Oh yeah, you know," I don't know what they're going to say to you, but if they spoke to you in a reasonable and professional way, okay, people would respond in a professional way. If you walk up to somebody in the street, if you go up to them and go, "All right, you prick," how are they going to react? They're not going to turn around and go, "Oh, hello, mate, how you doing?" and shake your hand. You're going to start the whole interaction on the wrong foot. But if you walk up to somebody and you're literally, you know, "Oh, yeah, mate, how you doing?" I used to do sales for a living, right? I used to do sales for a living. And we used to knock on people's doors. It was door-to-door sales, okay? And if I knocked on somebody's door and I looked miserable and I spoke to them in a bad manner, they would respond in kind. But if I walked up to the door and I was in a good mood, I had a big smile on my face and I was friendly, I would always get a friendly response. Juicy gossip, that police interceptors and the other police propaganda, I think, is to do with getting people used to seeing that kind of behaviour. I think that's what that is. I think it is a way of getting people used to seeing the police behave in that manner. So it's not, you know, so people just, when people see something going on outside, they go, "Oh, it's okay, the police are doing what they do." Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, Ian. Absolutely. It's what and how they do what they do now, of course. Mark Watson, I do have, yes. I still have plenty of, well, I say plenty, I'm going to need to order some more soon, but I do have enough. If you want some, just let me know. Do you know how to go about getting them? Using the PayPal link in the description. Dave, exactly, mate. Totally agree with that. If you're ignorant of the law, then you'll pay. Yeah, of course. I don't think people should learn the law in order to get out of, you know, in order to break the law and get away with it. As I say, if you break the law, you have to deal with the consequences. However, no worries, Ian. No problem. There's no rush, mate, at all. Absolute none at all. No obligation, no rush. But yeah, if people know the law, then I think, as Dave quite rightly said, they will avoid doing stuff that's wrong. Not always, not everybody, but I think there's a lot of people that don't realise that some of the stuff that they do is breaking the law. Mark, the new ones, unfortunately, the price has gone up on these new ones because there's no deals on. So they're £3 for 10. And that's to cover, literally, it covers the cost of the envelope, the cost of the stamps, and the cost of the cards. And I make about 13 pence in profit. Morio Kitsune, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, thank you for joining us, mate. Take it easy. Yeah, Carl, I've got to say, I understand where free man of the land people come from. I understand the way that they think. For me, I don't agree with it myself. It doesn't, you know, I won't ridicule people for it for it. I try and, for me, you have to fight back with the tools that are used against you. Okay, and again, this is my opinion, and this is what I try and, I suppose, preach, if you like. If you have to use what's being used against you, and unfortunately, for me, in my opinion, the free man of the land argument, although I can see where it stems from, completely understand where it's come from, I just don't see any evidence of it working. And therefore, when I'm saying to people about what I would do, or what act or legislation you should use to, you know, counter something, that's why I use the stuff that's used against us rather than any of the free man of the land stuff. But I do understand where the idea has come from. I'm going to be wrapping this up shortly, guys. I know I always say that and end up on here for another hour. But I'm going to be wrapping this up shortly. It's a good thing you can't see it. I can feel it. It's getting sticky. My eye, I mean, this one. My eye. Thank you, Barcode. Oh, you might as well then, seeing as it's already playing up. Do you want to say hello? Let's make you famous again. Do you have to sneeze in my face? All right, come here. Come here. People want to see you. There you go. There you go. Look, no, over here. People can't see you there. There's not enough room. Say hello. You've got to say hello. Say hello, Holly. Hello, Holly. Hello. Hello, baby. Hello. 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 Ah. You're a good girl. Good girl. Go on in. Thank you. No, she does not snore. Not that one. The other one does. Hello. Yeah, yeah, nearly as grey. I'm not sure who is greyer, me or her. I think that dog, Alice, that you've just seen there, when I first got her as a rescue dog, she was so scared of people. It was unreal. I mean, so scared. When the dog home, we'll call it the dog home, when the dog home called me up and said, come and check this dog out, I went down there, and she cowered away from me. She sort of went backwards as quickly as she could into the corner of her cage. I've gone into the cage, she's rolled over, and she just weed everywhere. She was so scared of men, absolutely petrified. I didn't get any video of her when she was like that, and I wish I had, because nobody could ever believe how bad she was when I first got her. But now, I mean, now she's here. She's pushing me. She's nudging me because she wants some attention, and she'd never do that when I first got her. What? What's the matter? You want some more attention, didn't you? Hey, want some more attention? You're not having me. No, you're not having me pork scratchings. No, sorry. Good night, Carl. Take it easy. The dog, the one that you've just seen, that's Alice. And this one, oh no, she's not. Are you coming over? Come and say hello. Come. Hello. This is Daisy. This one's Daisy. She saw that, Jay. She's reading the comments now. Hello. Hello, baby. Don't be jealous. This is the snorer, this one. And yeah. You like to interrupt my live streams with your snoring, don't you? Hey? Go on then, down you get. Alice, you've just had a stroke. Now stop whinging. P20p. Did you order some? Obviously your name is going to be different to the PayPal name. Lurcher's a nice dog. Daisy's a pointer. She's a pointer cross. And Fat Alice is a fat lab. Excellent. Yeah, no, I'm glad they've got their P20p. Thank you for letting me know. No, the names they've got were the names that they had when I got them. Daisy was actually called Daisy, I believe, because of her markings. She's a bit like a cow with the black and white markings. Not sure why Alice was called Alice, but... Good night, Steve. Thank you for joining us. No, if I give them pork scratchings, I wouldn't be doing them any favours. I'll be making them fat, wouldn't I, if I give them pork scratchings? So I'm actually doing them a favour by eating them myself. What do I think of all the auditing vids? I think some people go a little bit far. don't get me wrong, I think they've got the right to do what they're doing. They've got the absolute right to film and photograph in public, absolutely. I do think, however, that rather than being approached for filming or videoing, I think some people film or video to be approached. Yeah, rescue dogs, definitely. I think rescue dogs understand the value of the friendship and the love that they get more than normal dogs, if you like. Yeah, I mean, I'll always be honest. I think the people that are on here, I mean, Holly knows I'll be honest. There's a few other people on here that know that I will always say what I think. And I do think that there are people out there that go out and film and photograph to be approached rather than get approached because they're filming and photographing. But again, there is they're not doing anything wrong. They're still doing, they're still within their rights to go out and film and photograph. Yeah, Dave, there's like beanie hat. There is. Let me bring it up. Let me see if I can bring it up and show you. Okay. Let me just check, make sure you can see this. Yeah, right, okay, so this here, anybody that might be interested, okay, if you go onto the link in the description and you find this link here, customize, okay, and what you do is you just remove the image that's on there, come over to products, let's go through we'll go through caps and hats because you've just asked. This is what we've got in here at the moment. We've got a jersey beanie, trucker cap, snapback cap, winter hat. I can't see any comments at the moment, by the way, so because I'm doing this all on one screen. But yeah, there's four hats there that you can choose from, and face masks. Yeah, that's what we've got at the moment. 4 hats there: jersey beanie, winter hat, trucker cap, or a snapback cap. Now, all you would do is pick which one you want. Choose a colour, go to designs, and then you can literally pick any one of the designs that are on here, and there are quite a few designs. So you can pick any one you want, see what it looks like. For example, which one should we go for? There we go. Let's go for a cab. Then you can resize it, move it about. There you go. And you can even add your own text as well. There you go. I belong to PAP. So you can add your own text on there. You can move that about. And you know, so that's what you can do. So you can choose any of the designs. You can add a bit of your own text on there. You can even upload your own design as well, guys, by the way, just to let you know. But that, you know, that's the easiest way to go about doing anything in the store, is to go to the customize, and then you can choose any product, any color, any size, any design. Now I'm back. Section 5, this mask. So you've got one of them right there. Well, I had a video the other day. One of the subscribers has got a hat or cap, and he filmed the police having an interaction, and they turned around and said to him, "What's that on your hat?" And he went, "Oh, it's a channel on YouTube that holds you lot to account." And the guy goes, "What's that? Crime Bodge?" And he went, No, it's police abusing powers." The thing is, I don't break the law when I do what I do, you see. So although people, you know, there's people that don't like what I do, there's police that don't like what I do, but the thing is, I'm not breaking the law in doing what I do. Where am I in the UK? I'm in Liverpool. No, President Trump, they wouldn't. If all it said on there was police, then maybe. But no. No, I'll show you why. Let me come back to it and I'll show you why. Let's choose a bigger product for this so you can see it better. Yeah, we'll use that one. Let's do it white. Designs. So we've got police quarantine enforcement. Okay, it's clearly a joke. Police hurty word prevention. Police tweet investigation team. Police corporate policy enforcers. Police policy enforcement. Police crime scene instigation. And police unlawful entry assistance. So none of those could be seen as anything other than satire, as a joke. And they do actually look pretty good. That's on the front, isn't it? We want it on the back. I have to choose it again now. Let's go corporate policy. There we go. Take that one off the front. Job's a good one. That's what it looks like on the back. You can resize it, make it a bit smaller, put it where you want. But yeah, there's no way no way they'll be able to say it's impersonating a copper. See, I'll tell you one of the things is we've still got 106 people on here at the moment. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do with the channel is I think we all, as citizens, as human beings, we all need to look out for each other. Now, I know there's people out there that just look out for themselves, but I think that we need to forget them. And for those of us who understand that we need to watch each other's backs, it was to set up a bit like the police have got this thing called Street Watch, where they've got members of the public that go out, you know, at night, wander the streets, and if they see something, they phone the police. Okay. Well, I wanted to do the Police Accountability Project, which was people who would, whenever they're out, if they see an incident happening with the police, to stand at a safe distance and record it, to ensure that any police interaction, the police know that they're going to get filmed. Well, they know anyway, but if there's a say like a network, if you like, of people that will film every police interaction that they see, then they know that they're going to get rumbled if they balls up. No, you're right, Ian. That's right. I mean, as I say, it's something that I would have liked to have done, unless I've got, you know, the kind of subscribers that Crime Bodger's got. Then it's not something that I'm going to have much luck doing. But it would have been nice to have been able to do something like that. You know, and it's literally nobody's doing anything they wouldn't be doing anyway, really. You'd be out getting on with your normal daily business. And if you see an incident, you stop. In America, they have Cop Watch. Actually, they have an actual Cop Watch network in America. People out on the streets, okay, and they see an incident and they will film it, and they will go and they will witness the incident. Okay, that's what they do. They will see an incident, they will go, they will film it, they will witness it, and they will record it. Okay. And the police in some of these places know that they've got to watch themselves because they're getting monitored by the public, which is quite rightly so as well. You know, they should be monitored by the public. Why the police are monitored by other police, I have no idea. The thing about auditors in America, Richmond, is that they still have their constitutional rights. Ours have been ignored by most people for so long that trying to get them back into use, shall we say, is proving to be very difficult. Who's off? Who's going? Is that Jay? Jay off? Take it easy, mate. Thank you for jumping on. Always a pleasure. I'm sure we'll see you before then, Jay. Exactly, Richmond. 100%. If you don't use them, you lose them. 100%. Yeah, well, we wouldn't need. You wouldn't need to do that though. That's the thing. I've got some antihistamines in the kitchen. I'm gonna wrap this up soon, and I'm gonna go and take one because now I can manage with the eye, but now my nose is starting to go, and I don't want to be have flu-like symptoms on camera. Might get used against me. Yeah, not enough people know their rights, which is why, for example, if you see an incident going on and you record it, if you had, for example, let's put it this way. Let's say, and this isn't something I'm going to do, by the way, because it's too far out there. I couldn't do it. But let's just say, for example, I said, right, anybody that wants to do this works sort of freelance for the channel, okay? I would give you business cards. You would go out. If you see somebody being frisked or spoken to by the police, okay, you get your phone out and you film it. You give a card to the person which tells them how to get a copy of the footage, okay, and where it's going to be, yeah? But the police will know that there are people out there looking out for each other. Do you know what I mean? But the problem is something like that is far too massive and I wouldn't even know where to begin in order to do something like that. But I think people would do it. It would take a while for it to sort of pick up. It would take a while for people to understand what you're doing. But when you start showing people that you are stopping people from being and it's not about getting involved either, by the way. I'm not saying that you should get involved in an incident. It's literally about filming and recording the incident. Do you know what I mean? And that's it. You don't get involved. You don't go over and say, you can't do this, you can't do that. Because you would be putting yourself at risk. So something like that I wouldn't even consider asking people to do. But recording it, having a network of people that could do something like that, send all the videos in, okay, excuse me, and we are working we are backing each other up as citizens, and that's what we need to do. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing. Yeah, approach them after with a card. If they get arrested, okay, or if they're getting arrested, you need to tell them, yeah, that's the only time when you need to try and get involved and say to him, look, he needs to take this card because I've got this on video. And if the person wants it, a copy, then he needs the card. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, again, there's so much. It's not something you could just throw together because there's there'd be some legal issues and stuff like that which would need to be looked into, and safety issues as well, you see. So for something like that, which would be a huge task, but I think I genuinely think it's a good idea that we all need to be sticking up for each other and watching each other's backs. There's people out there that will grass you up. There's people out there that will grass you up, but it doesn't mean that we have to turn our backs on them. If people start seeing that we are that people are doing a service, doing a favour, yeah, if the evidence that you capture on video saves somebody from being sent to prison for something they didn't do, then people will start realising that it's not such a bad idea. Right, Gilly Wibble. I did a video some months ago about how PCS. The title of the video was PCSOs have more powers than the police, or something like that. What that meant, because people argued with me, but what that meant was that the police have the discretion to just let you go. Right, like, you know, they've got, the police have got the, how can I put this in the right words? The police have got the shall we call it experience and education? I know that's a bad word to use, but let's call it experience then. The police have got experience in order to deal with situations. PCSOs haven't. Okay, so that means that trying to walk away from a PCSO is going to end up with police jumping on you, right? Because the PCSO is going to phone up, the police will come, or they're going to get on the blower, and the police are going to turn up, and they're going to think that you're doing something wrong to a PCSO. You're going to get grabbed. You're going to get, you almost guaranteed to get fucked over because you've given a PCSO a bit of lip. Whereas if you give a bit of lip to a cop, then they're less they're more likely to accept a little bit of lip, whereas a PCSO ain't. PCSO is just going to phone the police up, phone their buddies up. Police are going to turn up, not knowing what's going on, and they're just going to literally go on the word of the PCSO, which is going to stitch you up. And they'll do everything to make sure the PCSO hasn't been belittled. So you're going to get screwed over even more if you deal with PCSO, unfortunately. But they don't have powers to... well, they do have powers. In fact, I've got a... what was that other video? I did do another video with the PCSO. Some PCSO powers a little while ago. PCSOs have got the same powers, pretty much, as the police, but they have to arrest under common law. They can only arrest you using citizens' arrest powers, because they don't have a warrant card. Although, see, PCSOs can use handcuffs as well. A lot of people don't know that. PCSOs can use handcuffs. PCSOs can also use incapacitant spray. Some PCSOs have cameras, some of them don't. It depends what force they're with. Some forces, some forces spend a bit too much on their Christmas party and can't afford to buy cameras for everybody. Yeah, it's down to the chief constable, Dave, whether or not the community support officers can can carry handcuffs and incapacitance spray. However, they are allowed to carry them and use them if their chief constable for that area says they can. What do I think of police coming on the feed? What do you mean? What, on the live streams, you mean? Hello, Matty lad. Didn't see you there. PCSOs can detain you under the same powers as a citizen's arrest. So they can use citizen's arrest to detain you, but it has to be for an indictable offence. I don't mind the police coming on, to be honest. I already know the police watch my videos. I've been told that police have watched some of my videos in briefing rooms. I don't know what videos they've watched or what it's been about, because I haven't been told, but I've been told that my videos have been watched in briefing rooms, in police stations. I don't mind. I don't, you know, I don't encourage people to break the laws. I try and help people understand where I can what the laws are. I will either give my opinion on stuff, or I will show the proof of what, you know, of the explanation of a certain law or legislation or whatever it might be. But I don't do anything to encourage people to break the law, and I don't break the law myself on this channel. Liana isn't coming on live streams anymore. In fact, she's unsubscribed from the channel. Good night, Joshua. Thank you for joining us. Copwatch, I can't really say. She did say why, but I can't really say anything at the moment. It was said to me in confidence. So yeah, so I can't really say anything at the moment. It's the same as if anybody else tells me something in confidence. Unless somebody does something to me, unless somebody you know, disrespects me or whatever it might be, then I will be professional as far as I possibly can be. So it's the same as if any of you said something to me, it would stay with me unless you said that I could tell other people. Well, Copwatch, I believe that they have watched some of my videos, and they've actually discussed some of my videos, from what I believe, from what I've been told. Am I police? I'll be honest, right? Yeah, I'm old Bill. I'm a detective constable. Do I look like old Bill? Come on, look at me. Jesus. No, the reason I do what I do is because I went for police and crime commissioner and they wouldn't let me. So now I'm getting my own back. No, no, you're right. It's absolutely fine. I don't mind people asking. I mean, let's be fair. If I was, I probably wouldn't tell you anyway. I've got, you know, you've got to be honest about that. You've got to understand that. But no, no, I'm not. I thought the door, isn't the back door open? You really need to learn to open that door yourself so you can let yourself out for the toilet. You know that, didn't you? Under COVID police. Too slim to be a copper. You haven't seen me standing up and getting out of this chair then. Yeah, that's a good point actually, Chris. If anybody thinks that I might be police, go back through my videos to the Port Police video and also my arrest videos. There's 4 of them, 4 arrest videos. Go back and check them videos out and then see whether or not you think I'm old Bill. Yeah, but Holly, I do today. I've got my jeans on. I'm covered in fur. If the dog could open the door like it flushes the chain after she goes to the toilet, I would love it. My fake cover story videos. Right, well, guys, unfortunately, because my cover's been blown, because somebody's just blown my cover, I'm going to have to go. No, I need to let the dogs out. They're dying to go to the toilet now. They're both sitting here looking at me, just saying, please let me go for a wee, please. What's the web camera? It's a Logitech C920 Pro HD webcam. It's not very good. That's what it is. What did Copwatch say? More chance of him being a cop, the police correctly policing. Yeah, I know. This is just a quarter of an hour shy of a 4-hour one. I bet you thought we was going to break the last record. What was the last record, Holly? Was it 4 hours? Or just over 4 hours? I think. Oh, Copwatch, I'm getting an actual proper camera. It wasn't 6 hours, was it? Oh, no, it was in 2 parts, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. It was about 6 hours. Oh, Jesus. I always shut my back door, don't worry. There's always people trying to bash it in, that's why. Oh dear. Yeah, I'm actually looking at getting a new camera. I'm trying to find one that fits my needs. And as soon as I've got that, quality of videos is going to be so much better. So yeah. Right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I do so enjoy these little chats, especially while we're in lockdown. I mean, who knows, when lockdown's over, we might not have the time or the energy for 3 or 4 hour live streams. So I appreciate the time that you spend with me. It makes me feel important. Makes me feel like I've got friends other than the dogs. Congratulations again to Angeli. Congratulations to the person who won the camera. Oh dear. I could do a 24-hour one. I could easily do a 24-hour one. Yeah, who knows? I might do a tour. Might do a tour of the UK. I'm going to let the dogs out. I'm going to take that antihistamine now. Otherwise, I'm going to be absolutely pulling my eyes out. Anyway, guys, again, thank you for joining me. Don't forget, stay safe. Look after each other. Film the police. Come on. You should all know that by now. No, Holly. Don't get caught. And other officials, thank you, Brian. That's what I was waiting for. Right, folks. Thanks again, and I shall see you in tomorrow's Pat Reports. Take it easy, folks.